Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Trading with Ashley show. Wow. I have popped some popcorn for this one. I mean, you have the richest man in the world going up against the most powerful man in the world. Who is going to win this high stakes drama? Well, I don't know who's going to win, but I can tell you this. Me and my community members, we're going to win because we are going to trade the crazy. We are going to use this volatility that's been created with Tesla stock specifically and use it to our advantage. And so I'm going to clue you in on some of the details, what I'm looking at this week. And we have some economic events going on this week, and then we have Tesla going on this week. So I thought it was appropriate to look at a potential Tesla trade so that we can take advantage of everything we have going. I want to take a brief moment and thank my community for all that they do every day to support all of the traders in my community. I have a staff of wonderful coaches that are supportive, but also the traders are so supportive of each other. And I've been receiving some really great comments. We are different in the Trading with Ashley community. And the reason is I wanted to create a community that was very supportive while someone is trying to learn. This stuff can get pretty complicated and challenging. And to me, for you to learn it and absorb it, you need to be surrounded by like-minded people that are supportive and that have a teacher's mentality. So that's what we have in the community, and it's working. My dream is becoming a reality, and I could not be more proud to walk alongside all of these traders every day in the community. So all of you that are in my community and you're watching this, it's just a heartfelt thank you for upholding the morals and the value system that I have within the community. But let's talk just a brief moment about what has played out. So, just my personal perspective is it's a very embarrassing for as an American, as a Tesla shareholder, the whole situation is embarrassing. That's the best way to describe it. But, I do understand that the human emotions are involved in a lot of what's going on. And, me and you are probably only getting a fraction of the information that's behind all of the excitement that we see and all of the emotion that we see. Clearly, Elon did not follow the 24-hour rule. When you're really upset, you wait 24 hours before you respond to whoever you're upset with, just so that you can calm down and cooler heads can prevail. But I would like your perspective. So I want to know specifically with Tesla stock, are you using this as an opportunity to shed your position? Are you so disappointed in what has happened that you think it poses a larger risk to the narrative for Tesla in the future? Or are you looking at this as a buying opportunity? I would love to just hear your personal perspective on how you are going to approach this dynamic. Now, most of you watching me, you may have Tesla shares in your account. So just curious as to how you're trading this, how you're handling this. I can tell you what I'm doing. So I'm going to take a measured approach. And once we get going with some of the initiatives that are planned for Tesla and they actually start producing income, I feel like we'll get past this and we'll look back on this time and just kind of roll our eyes. But I do think with some of the crazy that's going on right now, and because it has not yet played out, that there could be more downward pressure on Tesla. And so if you have shares right now, or you're wondering what a good entry is, I think we're definitely having to wait and watch. One thing that you may want to consider doing is putting a trailing stop loss on your shares so that if it gets too bad, you can actually get out of your position in profit. You may consider selling at the money covered calls if you were planning on taking your shares out of circulation, just because you will at least get premium for that. And then if we pull back, you'll get to keep 100% of that premium, and then you could rinse and repeat the following week. One thing that I am going to do, I am going to be looking at past levels of support for potential re-entries in case some of my shares get called away with a trailing stop. So that's something that you may want to look at. But as most of you know, when fear is at its height, usually that is when there is a buying opportunity. So I am looking for a little bit more downward pressure on Tesla, and I want to average down on the current shares that I have. So that may be something that I do. And then if I get stopped out of some of my other positions, then I'll take some of that cash and look at where I deploy it next. So let's go into the computer. We're going to take a peek at what is going on this week so that you are more prepared. And then stay to the end. I have a potential play for you to consider based on the expected move with Tesla. On Wednesday, later that evening, we have the Tesla Robotaxi event, and all eyes will be on this event to see if it can get Tesla over all of the drama from last week. A successful unveiling could boost investor confidence in autonomous vehicle technology, lifting sentiment in the technology and automotive sectors, potentially supporting tech-heavy indices. There is a lot of upside potential here. A disappointing event, i.e., technical issues or regulatory concerns, could trigger a sell-off in the tech stocks as seen in the October 2024 unveiling when Tesla stock fell nearly 9%. Given Tesla's significant market cap, its performance can influence broader market sentiment, particularly in the growth-oriented indices like the NASDAQ. There is a lot of volatility expected around this event, and I will be showing you a potential trade to take advantage of that next. The first thing we need to do to build our trades or look at the expected move for this week. Now, there's a formula that you use to figure this out, but on the low end, we're looking at 268, on the high end, 322. Now, of course, it could blow past either of these strike prices depending on the narrative this week, but if you want something to anchor yourselves to, this would be a good place to start. Now, as all of you know, when you sell puts with higher implied volatility on a stock, you're going to get more money. So we're going to take advantage of that. So if you look at this right here, 265 wouldn't be a bad potential sold put opportunity for you. If 268 is the expected move, this gives us a little bit more safety. Let's take a look at the deltas. It's a good delta. It's 0.16. So there's about a 16% chance that we actually get assigned this stock at the end of the week. And so if you were going to sell this put, you would need $26,500. You would put that up in your broker, and for that, you would receive $315. So once you get to the expiration date, if Tesla is trading at 265 or below, you always get to keep this $315, but you would at that point go ahead and be assigned the shares with the money that has been held in your broker. Now, if we do not settle in at 265 or below, you still get to keep this $315 that you received, and your money is released to you for additional trades. And usually you'll see that back in your account on Saturday morning. Now, if we were to do this trade, we like to think of what is return on capital? What is our annualized return? And for that formula, what you're going to do is you're going to take the $3.15 and you are going to divide that by the 265. Once you get that figure, you multiply it by 100. And then since we're dealing with a weekly trade, you would just multiply that by 52. So you're looking at an annualized return of about 61% if you were to do a similar trade like this every week. Now, the next trade, I am going to look at selling calls. Most of you watching this have an interest in Tesla, so it's understood that you may have at least 100 shares of Tesla. Now, if you do, knowing that the expected move is 322, you may be interested in taking advantage of this high volatility and going ahead and selling a call. If you were to do that, 325 is a good place to align yourself to. Look at the delta. It's 0.18. It's below 0.2, so that helps us with chance of assignment. For this, you would receive $2.75 a share, so $275 by the end of this week if you sell this covered call on Tesla and it does not settle in at 325 or above. Now, if it does settle in at 325 or above, then your shares would be called away if you did not roll this trade. And to roll the trade, I have a video I'm going to leave in the description for you if you're interested in knowing how to roll a trade. Now, for those of you that want to get the highest return, we are going to look at an iron condor because you're going to be able to take advantage of the volatility on both sides of this trade. Now, how this would work is you're basically doing credit spreads, same expiration date, you're doing a put credit spread and a call credit spread. So let's look at our strikes. I went a little bit more conservative than both the expected move and the sold put and the sold call, because when you do credit spreads, they're directional bets. And in this situation, you want to ensure that it stays in between your strike prices for you to be able to fully win this trade. And for that to happen, you need to be a little bit more conservative to kind of keep your price action out of harm's way. So let's look at the trade setup. For this one, you would go with the end of the week. The 260 strike would open your trade. You do sell to open, it's a put. And then you do buy to open on the 250 strike on the put. So that is the put credit side of your Iron Condor. Now, going to the call side, same expiration date, and you want to do 330 as the opening trade. That's the sell to open portion of the call. And then the buy to open portion is 340. So this is a $10 wide strike on each side. And the beauty of that is your broker's only going to require enough to satisfy one side of this trade because your broker knows you can't lose on both sides. So you would need $1,000 in collateral to be able to put this trade up. Now, when you get to this portion where you do the net credit, because it's so volatile and more than likely we're going to see spikes up and down tomorrow at market open, I'm going to go ahead and do a limit order at 2. Right now it's paying 170, but this is based on the price action at the close of business day. And we all know that Tesla is like a bucking horse when the market opens. So for that reason, I'm going to go ahead and put in a limit order and see if I get this filled. If I do get it filled, then I'm going to receive $200 for this trade, and I'm only having to put up $1,000. Now, the reason this shows $800 is because it's taking into account that I received this $200 in premium. So it's subtracting that from the $1,000 collateral needed. But the reason that this return is so significant is what you're doing is you are getting a 20% return off of your $1,000 in 1 week if you win 100% of this trade. Now, the way that you would calculate this annualized return, you take that 20% and you multiply it by 52. So now you are looking at over 1,000% return in 1 year. Now, granted, you won't be able to find a trade like this every week, but it does give you a great indication of how much money you're getting for putting your money in play. Now, management of this trade, that one is going to be interesting because you could leg out of this trade, meaning if you see Tesla spike up at some point during the week and it gets closer to the call side, you could go ahead and close down the put credit side and then wait till it retreats and then close down the call credit spread side. Now, if you want it to be a little bit more conservative and safe, if you saw that it was close to breaching either side of the trade, so on the put side, that would be if it got close to 260, or on the call side, if it got close to 330, then you may decide to just go ahead and shut down the entire trade for a small debit, and you would lose a little bit of money in that scenario. I hope that gives you some ideas for this week and that you're ready to trade. Remember, if you're with me trading with Ashley, there is no trader left behind. Now, if all of this was a little intimidating to you and you just want to go back to the basics on how to sell a put or how to sell a call, I'm going to leave a playlist for beginners that are going to help you navigate through how to do this so that you can be ready to trade with us in the coming weeks. I'll leave that video for you right here.